Where's my blower gone? Man, like Razor.
Good, bro. Long time, man.
I know. I was just saying to
Yeah.
someone now, actually. I'm thinking, when's the last time we actually spoke on on the just as an interview, really? To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Couple years,
it's
man.
been, yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Is
been.
that
I think it was
within
maybe
you? Is that within
2015, maybe.
But yeah,
Huh?
I'm probably about 2017. I
Yeah.
can't remember. I
Oh
think when you was
shit.
at what radio station was you at, man? Was it Pulse? It was Pulse.
Pulse. Yeah, yeah. I
It
was
was
asked the Pulse. Yeah.
2016. It was 2016.
Okay. Yeah, that lines up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Shit. So
Yeah. 5 years.
fuck, 5 years. What you been up to,
Mhm.
boy?
Yeah.
What's been going on? Nah, man.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man. I know we're talking today about a lot of things. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about the project and stuff. I was re-listening to some of your old stuff as well,
Love.
and I'm trying to think. Yeah, one of the biggest things for me, man. What's this dating thing saying now? Because it's mad. Listening to your stuff, man. It seems like you're one of these nice guys. I've heard about you, lot. Heard about you, lot, man. You nice guys.
What do you mean?
You know these nice guys, bro. Oh man. I don't know these nice guys, you know. But I thought, what you I can't remember now. You single? You got someone at the moment, or
Nah, I
what's?
was with someone, and then we broke up like end of last year, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
wasn't.
Oh, is that the girl in the music video? One
Didn't ride
music
for me,
video.
yeah. Ride for me, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So what happened, man? What happened,
I said it all on makeup to break up.
bro?
Yeah,
It's just
you just weren't the one, man. Like it just like it is. They say it takes like a year to find out
mm,
someone's true colors, innit?
okay.
And like when someone's used to something or someone's used to being treated a certain way, yeah,
Mm,
and then someone else comes along
mm,
and then that person's completely different to what you're used to. Sometimes you don't know how
mm.
to react to it, and I feel like she didn't know how to react to me. If that makes sense.
Ah. So do you think like women need more in with guys who are bad for them, like toxic guys, toxic
Say that again, so
situations?
the
I
connection
said,
went a
do you
bit.
think? Yeah. Do you think some girls now are more drawn to like toxic behaviors and toxic situationships and toxic relationships?
I think they are, man, because like not to expose or anything, but obviously when you're with someone and then
Mm,
that you'll tell them about your past, they'll tell you about their past,
yeah.
and then I she told this person told me that like her past was mad, and not mad, but she always dated guys that didn't respect her, innit? Um, so I was in my brain, I was like, okay, so I'm finally gonna like give you the respect that you're saying that you
Mm,
haven't got before. You get what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
And I did that. I felt like I did, and then that you see it in movies all the time, man. When like there's a guy that's like he's like fucking around with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then the girls
Mm,
are drawn to him. Do you know what I mean? And then there's that one nice guy that's like, yo, I'll do
mm.
everything for you. And then that they don't want that nice guy. They want the guy that maybe has more of a status, or you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it
Well,
was.
you know what? Look, there's a couple things I know in my game, my friend, and I'll let you drop some. Open up your knowledge basket, bro. Here comes some
I go,
A1.
go.
Okay, because I've been researching, I've been living life, and I've been reflecting a lot on the relationships I've been in and situations I've been in
Mm.
personally. And I would say something. What first of all, what women want, say they want, and what they actually want are two different things. Because
But,
I don't
but
know who this girl is or whatever, but all I know is that if she's with someone who's disrespected her on multiple occasions, she's still there. So that's not
yeah,
really entirely the guy's fault. But I feel like there's always like a bit of a narrative of when you get into a relationship, a woman will come into a situation with you and it will be from her view. Same way if you're coming in, it's from your view. So, but if you ever spoke to your ex, her ex, would they be
different
saying the
story.
same thing, you know? So
Different
it's
story.
always something, what's up, few people coming in here. But yeah, a few things to yes, there's a few things to worry about. And the nice guy thing, man, I think too many guys base too
Yeah.
much of their life around getting women and wanting women. And what you'll find is, I'm sure you'll know yourself, when you're on your grind, doing
Yeah.
whatever you are, working
They'll
on your
come.
purpose,
They'll
making
come.
music and stuff, that's when they start appearing. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So, and if you know yourself, and I mean, you're quite an expressive person, even if we're talking about your music, you deal with big topics in your
yeah.
music. You're talking about anxiety, depression, you know, situations with women, of losing children. All this is deep, deep stuff, man.
Yeah.
So it always leads me to the conclusion that you're probably quite a self-aware guy. But I think that sometimes when we're in a situation, it's hard to really understand it, as
You
opposed to
summed
someone
me
who's
up.
out of the situation looking in.
Yeah, you summed me up, bro. That's
Yeah,
exactly what
yeah,
it is. That's exactly
yeah.
what it is.
It's
Yeah.
tricky, man. It is tricky, but anyways, it's something that popped up because I'm clever, bro. I can see what's going on. I'll see people's socials and I'm like, hold on, this is looking a little bit different. Someone's gone, this person's here.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, this is what I'm
I
saying,
hear
bro. I
you.
just try to keep. I've been at this moment as well. I've been trying to keep as much as my private life private now.
I hear
Now
you,
that
bro.
as you know and me know and stuff, we've been building for a little while, and you know, social media can be just a mad place.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not always good to put your life out there.
Yeah.
But relationships aside, I think the best thing to do is speak about. We've known each other for, I want to
About
say,
10
about
years.
8 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And from when I've known you, it's always been a project thing. You've always had projects coming out, but there's
Yeah.
part of me that feels like I've seen so many projects come out of yours, like EPs, mixtapes, albums, and I'm like, the speed that they come out, I'm not sure it's a good thing sometimes. I feel like there's
Mhm.
so much stuff that you give and you want to give it to everyone, and I understand why, but I don't understand sometimes why there's so many of them coming out. That's always something
Okay.
which is kind of bamboozled me about you, because
Okay.
the quality of your music is, you know, sometimes there's people just put out
Yeah.
stuff, but the quality of your music would allow it to have singles and videos like you do release, and then album, bit of
Yeah.
time, EP, whatever. So I'm just wondering why you usually go in that direction.
Um, do you know when you first knew me and I was doing the mixtape thing, I was giving out CDs left, right, and center. I felt like them days. I felt like I was trying to play catch up. Not with anyone in particular, just with myself. I kind of felt like um, most people started doing music or tried to like get into the music scene when they were like 16, 17. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I kind of started late, even though I was making music, but I kind of started doing shows a bit late and mixtapes a bit late and all this stuff. So I felt like I had to just kind of overwork or work to try and get myself to a certain level before, I don't know, a certain age. Like, you know, like you always put pressure on yourself with certain things. See what I'm saying? So I kind of did that, but the last, I say the last 4 years, because I used to do like a project every year in it. But I've dropped, so 4 years, but that is still,
Yeah, like
yeah,
2017, there was one, there was a mixtape, I think
2019
2019,
and
yeah, and
20.
then the
I,
venting ones and stuff.
I feel like I like, because I spaced out now to 2 years. I used to do one a year, but I feel like one every 2 years is that too much? Because the
No,
thing
it
is,
just
as
seemed
well,
like a lot. You know, when I read your press release and
yeah,
when I've seen you out previously, it's
yeah,
like there's always something on, like there's always something happening. There's always like an EP out, there's always an album. That's good because
yeah,
you're present. But then it's also like, okay, so, all right, by the time I get hold of that one or I see you in that one, something else has come out, and I just feel
yeah,
like I'm playing catch up. That's the big thing
okay,
for me because I get so much music as well. Like I'll get
yeah,
music in emails and DMs, and I'm like, oh shit, Razor's got another one. And then I'll sometimes see something on the socials, and I'm like, okay, cool, this is from this, and they'll be
yeah,
like, no, it's from a new one. So
okay,
it's just mad, especially I just think, especially now, I understand it to a certain degree as well because now people's attention span is like zero.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So people just release. Like even if you look at say Tion Wayne or Russ's work ethic, it just never stops.
yeah,
Never stops. The singles. And I mean, if we talk about Russ, that's completely different because
yeah,
he's just running with a formula. I think we
yeah,
all know that he's running with a formula, but his formula is working, so I can't knock
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But it also made me think about where you started and when you've come to now. A lot of stuff has gone on in the sense of experiences, EPs, albums,
mm,
awards, videos, but I want to know what's changed for you, or what's the great. Would you do anything differently from the beginning to now, to where you are now?
What would I, what, yeah, 100%. One thing I would change, I would have used from the beginning, I would have used original beats. Because before I was using like Jay-Z beats, Eminem beats, Shady, like whoever, like American beats pretty much. I would have done
Yeah.
that and just done my own. Probably, when it comes to like giving out mixtapes and being on the grind and performing where I performed, I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have done anything like that differently, because I feel like that's what I had to do to kind of build momentum. And I feel like for me, because when people, like, obviously, I think if I release a project, I don't know, 2017, and I release one 2020, I kind of feel like, and I weren't doing shows or putting myself out there, I kind of do feel like people, not they won't take me serious, but it'll be like, oh, that guy again. And already it's hard in the industry that we're in, because it's a competitive one. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I kind of do it like that because I feel like I just want to always be in people's faces. So maybe just to not be forgotten in it, and people remember me and take me seriously, and not think, oh yeah, he came out with a song, I don't know, 2017, and then he dropped another one 2021. He'll be like, well, what happened in the last 4 years?
Between the two, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever go into other fields of the sense of that, you know, sometimes you have artists there on back chat, or they're
Yeah.
doing like some sort of reaction videos or some other field within music whilst doing it? Because I've noticed what's happening now is a lot of artists, especially like if you look at someone like Lippy or Margs, for example, they do this sort of things with Link Up, or they do the For the
Yeah.
Culture, or half they work on Chucky's podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of expanded their reach. Because to be honest, I wasn't really a guy who listened to Margs, for example, but since I've seen him more on link up based stuff, I've kind of understood him a little bit more. So that's always something which is, and there's something more artists are doing. Even if you look at Castillo, who's an artist and a personality, it kind of makes sense to go across there. Would you ever do anything like that?
I've thought about doing like a podcast. Like a podcast is something I'd be interested in. I did a bit of acting back in the day, a little bit. I went to drama school and that before, just like a year before I thought I'm going to take music seriously. I did a bit of that. I'll probably get into that if like someone saw me and just wanted to offer me doing that. Like, oh, I saw your video, would you like to act in it? But I wouldn't put that first, if that makes sense. Like, I definitely, even the other day I was thinking, you know, it would be good maybe to do a podcast or something like that. But even though everyone says that's a bit, podcasts are getting a bit cliche at the moment, but I'd still do it.
It's a long thing as well. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Podcasts
I can imagine.
At times can be long, innit? Like I do one, and you got to build. You got to have reliable people, and then you've also got to have a certain type of guest and know what direction you want to go in. It's not always cracked up to be. I'll tell you that now for sure, man. But one of the things I did want to ask you is when I was listening to one of the tracks on the Bittersweet project was about features. You spoke about features.
Yeah.
And one of them was like features with Cadet. I know you had a feature with Cadet. Who was it? It was someone else.
Dappy
Ranks, stuff like that. So with that as well, you mentioned about how it wasn't worth paying for the feature because it wasn't promoted in the same way or something.
It wasn't even promoted, man. It's just like someone, obviously they done their job, but I did it. You know, like you go into a shop and then you'll buy something, but the customer service is rubbish. So you kind of feel like, cool, I got what I wanted, but I'm not coming back to that shop again. Or this man did, when I was buying my stuff, this guy didn't even say hello or look me in my eyes, or it felt like that. Because I don't know if you want me to go into it, but because obviously RIP Cadet and that, I don't really want to. Because I don't really think it was his fault. It kind of was like his manager's fault at the time. His manager was just treating me like, it was just mad. It was just mad. And like, even with Gappy shot the video and that, and he was like, yeah, man, like, I'll be there for the video, calling him, phones ringing out. I'm just like, all this stuff.
I think, you know what it is as well? Do you think people are too afraid to really be open with people and real with people? Because what I've noticed is there's platforms and people who are like honest and straight up, and then people get vindicated for it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they're just being real. But then also people are always like, oh, you have to play the game. You can't say that because this affects this part of the industry. Da, 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 da. But to me, I don't, well, this is to me, I don't know, innit? I don't give a fuck, innit? So if you don't want honesty, you don't come to me, innit? Like,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
don't, I think at the stage of, especially, I mean, you understand more than ever, like, we've been in industry a long time, and there's stuff which could be resolved, and there's problems which could not have happened if people were just upfront and kept it real. But I
yeah,
think we work in an industry where certain people like to, because there's so many artists and there's so many presenters and all the rest of it, some people just want to, they know that they can get someone else,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah,
they know it's about clout, or they know it's about
yeah,
followers, so
yeah.
they just think, okay, I'm just going to replace this person, or I'm just going to do this for this and this. But I don't know about you, but I don't play that game no more, innit? So now I'm real blunt with it. If I'm honest with you,
Yeah.
if people approach me for a project, what's the budget? When is it? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then boom, done. No, thank you, straight away. Because I feel like
Yeah.
when you try to be nice to people and just keep it real, and try to
Yeah.
help people out, and you help them out, yeah, they're
Yeah.
just there's a line where it's just, now you're just taking the piss, really, to be
Nah, facts,
honest.
facts, facts. With
So
yeah, with that, it literally was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll do it. He'll do it. Yeah, he did it. He did it, and it kind of, like, it just his. I don't know, man. It just kind of felt like I was just being taken for a mug in it, and even when I dropped it, even when I did the press release, Cadet's manager at the time was like, "Don't message me again." Sent me a don't. Yeah, bro, it was mad, and the thing is, I was so polite to the guy. It's so mad. I was proper polite, like, yo, I wanted to do like a video for it and everything. He's like, he didn't even say yes or no to the video. I had to like, he'll try to tell me, he was telling me when to release the song. So he was like, release it in June. I'm like, but it's my song. Then he'll
yeah,
message
yeah.
me, then he messaged me again. Nah, actually release it in May. Nah, actually. So then I thought, who does this guy think he is, bro? Do you know what I mean? So I just released it when I was, and then after that, I just kind of felt like, and the funny thing is, I actually met Cadet. It was at Miss Banks' launch, innit? And I was like, yo, bro, I got the verse, thanks. He's like, oh, you like it? Yeah, I said, yeah, it's budding me. And then he literally just walked off. Like, there was like, and I wanted to be like, why is your manager being an idiot? Like, why is he being a, and then he walked off. And then from that moment, I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what
And
this
you know
is.
what's mad is that you mentioned Miss Banks,
Yeah.
but I feel like if you'd gone about the feature of Miss Banks, it would have been different energy. And the only reason why I say that is because I know Cadet's story is different, but
Yeah.
Miss Bank was on the come up in it with us.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she
Exactly.
understands it more. You can see that in her humility and how
Yeah,
she
yeah,
conducts herself. So I've always got a lot of time for Miss Banks, for sure,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And someone actually, someone just said about the realness and stuff. But you know what, the term keeping it real is Kurt. But the thing about keeping it real and all the rest of it is everyone has their own definition of what keeping it real is, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Everyone has their own set of what they think is acceptable and what they think is real and being real and all the rest of it. So that's where the disconnect comes from. But
Yeah.
on a more positive note, when we're speaking about artists and features and stuff like that, I know you've had some conversations with Wretch. Where did that come from? So Wretch 32 and you are having
Oh,
some
man.
sort of discussion or some sort.
Do you know what? I remember, yeah, 2009. This is obviously before Rex blew up and stuff. I was working in a place in Tottenham. It was called Black Grape, yeah, and they used to do comedy events and stuff. And Rex used to come there. And one time, I think there was a party there, and I got really drunk, and I was like, "Yo, you're Rex in it?" He's like, "Yeah." Blah blah blah. So then, like, we were chatting and stuff. And then I'm like the biggest Retch 32 fan. I think I am the biggest Retch 32 fan. So, and then he was like, yeah, man, proper safe, proper cool, whatever. I've seen him again throughout the years, but then obviously blew up, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then he had this thing where he said, like, I think he put up a post where he was like, anyone wants to talk during this lockdown, send me a number in it, and I'll call you. So I literally just sent him my number, and then he like rang me, but he rang me on private number. So
You're like, who's this, bro? Who's this dickhead? Man thinks I'm a dickhead, bro. Ringing me on blocked. Don't
Yeah,
answer private numbers out here, G.
say that he rang me a private number, and I'm like, and then I got rang again another a private number. I was like, I don't, like, I'm very like, I'm not gonna say I'm scared of private numbers, but I see the private number, I'm just like, yeah. So that's what happened now, and then he literally just left a voice note in it, not left a voicemail. Sorry, left a voicemail. I tried to call you, and then I tried. He DM'd me, was like, bro, you didn't pick up, and then I called it, and then I called him. Like I tried to message him, say call back, whatever. He ain't called back yet, but I just and then I got the message, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use this for something. Still, I just thought I'm gonna use this.
Yeah,
For,
it's
like,
in the tape, innit?
Yeah, on rainy days, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Because he's someone, him, Avellino, and a few others are proper like real dons, bruv. Like I see them supporting people all the time, bigging people up, wanting to work with people and all this kind of stuff. And even, well, not so much Avellino in that kind of way, but definitely people on Wretch, Krept and Conan's kind of level of like notoriety. They're more than happy to help the people coming up now in the next generation. But it's a sticky one for you, though. I will say that, because you're kind of in between in a way, because you've been around for a bit, you're making music now, you're going up, but then do you fall into that bracket of the kind of new talent? Do you consider yourself the new talent or the emerging talent? You know what I mean? How do you really label yourself?
It's hard, man, because I feel like, if I'm honest, I'm at a stage, when, I don't know, Gets will release a song, or Retro will release a song, or Skepta will release a song, everyone will stop what they're doing, innit? And be like, okay, I'm going to listen to it. With me, I feel like, this is why when you said, like, why do I put music out so often? I feel like I'm always on Link Up TV. I'm always on Link Up TV, and I just feel like I haven't reached the stage yet where it's like I'm gonna stop what I'm doing to listen to Razor. Like I don't think, like, the bigger picture hasn't thought, oh, Razor's out again, I'm gonna listen to his, let me click it to listen. I do think it's like, for the majority of people, it's like, oh, that Razor guy again, he's dropped another video. Do you know what I mean? But like, obviously for people like yourself, people that's known me from doing like the open mics back in the day, that back in the day, like I have kept it consistent in it, but it's still, it can be frustrating as well sometimes, because I do think like sometimes I need to, I don't know what I need to do, but that's why I just
I know, you know what it is, I don't envy you as well, because I'm aware that, especially now as we go on and on and on, there's so many artists coming in, and the scene is just getting so saturated with artists. Then you have Afro swing that made it like a bit of a wave, then now drill, now people who've been influencers or people, reality stars coming into the music game as well. It's just the competition's the highest it's ever been. And I feel like for me as a presenter, I know it's definitely different, because for me, I can just go into another field of presenting, which isn't music, and it's there's still room somewhere. Like I make the move onto Twitch and online gambling, and I did that for a while, and I'm in the Twitch environment. So with music though, it's more difficult, which is why I said earlier about podcasts and these kind of personality type things, because something needs to pop in it, really. I mean, the numbers are growing. I mean, Swimming in Your Ovaries got 100k link up, which is an achievement, man. Is that one of your highest ones?
I done a song called Shoot Down last summer. I think that's on like 130. Shoot Down.
As of recent, 100k is pretty fucking good, and that's like in the space of like a month or something. It's not like
like just over like 5 weeks.
So it's not even like, it's kind of crazy to see that there is still happening. You're still getting the views. It's just something for me. There's just something somewhere which either needs to be changed or injected with a bit of luck, and then boom. So and I can understand your frustration for sure, because like I said, in the industry, it can be hard. It can be hard at times because of the overflow of artists and etc. But the work that you're putting out, the consistency, the award nomination and stuff like that, it would definitely help you as a brand, I feel. And I know you spoke before though about quitting music, and I was wondering what drove you to that. Drove you that conclusion and stuff like that.
Exactly, this conversation, literally feeling like I'm putting music out and I'm not getting the recognition I want. I'm not gonna say deserve, but the recognition that I want. And for a good 3 years, I felt like I was just putting out music, and then same reaction or same this, same that, and then I was just like, I don't know what to do to like get into the next, just the next level, break into the next level. I kind of felt stuck, and then I kind of did quit music, like 2018. I would say I quit, but something, I just got a battery in my back from somewhere, and I just thought, and funny enough, when I took that break, I just came back, and I don't know if I meant to kind of change my sound or change my flow or change my style, but when I listen to like Diamond in the Rough and I listen to all my previous stuff, there is a massive difference in like the quality of music I feel in it. Do you know what I mean? And then, another thing is I stopped putting pressure on myself, because I was putting so much, like, because I was like, I want the record. That's why I said earlier, I was putting out music so consistently because I felt like I was playing catch up. So even I'll just record songs, and even if I thought a song was good, but I don't know, I didn't like it as much, I'll be like, okay, I'm still gonna put it out, or I'm still gonna just dash it out and dash it out, but with no thought of how I'm gonna promote it or market it. It was just, I'm just gonna dash it out and whatever. But now I've kind of sat back, and I took a year out, and I just thought to myself, like, if I'm gonna do this, I need to like just reach out to people, or just promote it in a certain way, or make this sort of song or that type of song. And I feel like the last two years it's been working for me still. I do. Yeah.
What do you think's been the biggest change in the sense of like marketing and promoting and PR from when it was 5-10 years ago?
Definitely social media, man, because you remember me like back in the day giving out all my mixtapes and stuff, innit? But I feel like if I was supposed to do that now, people would be like, what are you doing, bruv? Like,
it's funny you say that, bruv. I know a guy who does that. And he's
okay.
But he says it works for him, and
Okay.
I'm not his music manager.
I feel like
so
some people still listen to CDs, not as much as like in 2012, 2013 though. That's my opinion. Yeah.
I think I understand the mechanics of why, because I know him, but yeah, I don't think it's a massive. But this is if we're talking about social media, this is the thing as well. Have you ever encountered anything when it comes to, even if you're talking about getting involved with labels and getting involved with doing features and all these other things, people look at your numbers now more so than before. Like we might not be talking about CDs or whatever anymore, but and social media does play a big impact. But people are like, what can this person do for me? Oh, this person hasn't got enough followers, or this person has got the followers, or this person's got a blue tick. There's a lot of politics even around that. But really, if you put out a good content, I would like to say if you put out a good content and stuff, then that should be enough. But we know it's not. Like you have to know the game in that kind of way, because people could lose opportunities just because they haven't got 10K or they haven't got a tick or whatever,
Yeah,
so
bro, nah, you're right, but
it's unsettling.
It's very unsettling, but but sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes that's what happens, and then it's like, then you just fall under the radar, innit?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I am still also a strong believer in, like, if you just constantly work and stay in your lane, no matter, look, I say, for instance, so look at Getch, I was thinking about this other day. He got a #2 this year, innit? His album,
Yeah.
But in like 2005, he was like, people would say he's like Kano's sideman or Kano's stage man. And he literally came and he saw everyone blow up. Like everyone, like a whole generation of musicians blew up. And then he came after when he was there at the start. Do you get what I'm saying? So I am a firm believer in just constantly stay on your grind, and then things will work out for you, man.
Would you ever make any drill music?
You know what? I would, but I wouldn't. But then I feel with drill is a thing where there's not, because even like one of my guys, I asked him, because he's a proper drill fan, I asked him, I said, is there like any love songs in drill? And he was like, no. So I was like, So drill is just literally trapping, and that's the genre. So I don't understand that. Like I've never trapped in my life, bro. So I don't.
Don't know how it works.
Yeah,
Don't know how it works in the bando, bro. It's a
yeah,
bit
but
mad.
I'd say I would spit to like I'll make a drill song, but if the instrumental is drill, I wouldn't necessarily rap about
drill stuff.
Yeah,
That
I'll
makes
just
sense, man.
do my own flow over it and rap whatever I want to rap about or whatever concept it is.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's success mean to you?
Do you know what? Like when I first started music, success to me was like blowing up, being the next at the time maybe Tiny Temper. Do you know what I mean? That's what success was to me back then. But especially in this industry, bro, it's like not everyone's gonna be Skepta. Not everyone's gonna be Tiny Temper.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I think about it sometimes as well, because just because like Lionel Messi and Ronaldo is the best footballers in the world doesn't mean Jamie Vardy isn't successful. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's not doing his thing. So I feel like success to me now is like having like my own fan base, like my core personal fan base, making money, and like just being like financially satisfied where you can just do what you want. Don't have to be filthy rich. Don't have to like have a mansion or, you know what I mean? Just like financial stability. Go on holidays, live your life. If you got enough money to like buy a property or whatever, do that. Obviously, like pretty women
find the sweet thing and that. Find a sweet
exactly.
All that stuff, bro.
Exactly.
Listen, bro, that's hard work, bro. When you find it, when you find a sweet one, bro, it's hard work, bro.
I hear you.
It's hard work, but it's worth it for sure, man. I will say that because it's just, bro. It's just.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, without getting into too things, but the game's mad out there, bro. You guys have fun, but it's not for me no more, bro. It's a different game now, bro.
I want what you have then, because
listen, bro. It took you know what you know what's interesting actually. I always have this conversation with people, and I ask women what they want, and their list is like this big, and then I ask them what they think men want, and they're like completely they ain't got no clue. The stuff that they say isn't what men want, and I'm like, and you wonder, like, we don't care about the same things you guys care about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, what would you want from a woman?
Bro, I've always just wanted like support. Just bro, like I don't want to be in a situation with a woman where I feel like I have to have a cussing match with her. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
You get what I'm saying? Or I feel like I have to be defensive, or I have to feel offended. I'm literally a simple person, innit? I literally just want support, like to be cared about.
So you want someone who exuberates their feminine energy, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like supporting you, like that kind of stuff. But I think a lot of the problem is now, a lot of the women out here, some of them, but not all of them, but a lot of them are on this masculine, trying to be like men. That's not attractive, man. And that's cool if you want to do that. You want to be alpha female, go you, girl power. But it's not going to attract you a guy that you want. It's going to attract you a guy. But what you'll notice is if you're an alpha female per se, you're not going to be attracting an alpha male because they ain't got no time for that. They'll attract a feminine, soft man. But they're not attracted to that. So it's like a whole cycle, bro. But to be honest, like I was talking to someone before on my stream, and I put out like what my requirements were, what I wanted and what my standards were, right? And people were going crazy, bruv. Crazy. And they weren't like madness. They weren't mad. They were like, no OnlyFans, not overweight, good height kind of weight ratio. Yeah, bruv, not overweight, bruv. I think that's really like, that's fair. Like, look, I don't really like bigger girls, innit? I just ask UK Gossip, bruv. They drag me through the mud. But I would say, just like I prefer like a slim thing, right? So if I wanted a slim thing, that's my preference, right? So that, no OnlyFans, no kids, not masculine. Someone to be, exactly. But this is the thing. But someone to be, be present in her female essence, And people were going crazy, bruv. And I was like, yo, like, oh, you're unreasonable to ask for that. Why? Women are asking for list and list and list, and I'm not allowed to have standards. I don't understand, and I feel like that's where a big disconnect is when it comes to dating, for sure. So it's always just something that is always confused me. But like I say to every single person, if they have an issue or they want to talk about it, if they want some smoke, at your host Rob, and I'm ready for you, big man. That's it, bro. But I think to be honest with you, man, especially the kind of music you make, a lot of it as well is like about that old school genuine love, isn't it?
Yeah,
And it's about if you can find them girls no more, because they're few and far between, man. Now, especially, I think there's maybe like an age bracket you need to go for, like between like 28 and 35, because they get it. But then between 28 and 35,
I think it's like 35 and 40, 30, 35 and 45. I feel like anyone below like 33, 32, it's a wrap, bro.
it's stressful. Like, and I think, you know what it is we're at a kind of stage where it's quite interesting, it's quite mad, because basically, by the time someone's 35 and 40, people have got a lot of emotional or sometimes physical baggage. And it's about if you want to get involved with that. And if you don't want to get involved with that, okay, let me go to get a 25-year-old or whatever, But then they're on the Instagram life. And so it's very hard to find someone who's on the same wavelength as you. It is a struggle, man. I don't envy anyone who's in that situation. Men want Rihanna, but don't want the type of man that Rihanna wants.
Yeah.
Nah. I want to come to that in a minute, bro. Someone said them mills. Nah. Let me tell you something about that, yeah. But Rihanna, I know you're using Rihanna as an example, but bro, I was thinking about it today, and I was speaking to someone about it today, and the kind of men who want Rihanna don't want Rihanna, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like in real life, I'm talking Rihanna, obviously, like some top tier, like
I
mean, she got a large forehead, in my opinion, but you know, that kind of top tier woman and whatever. Like, it's not. She's like, you see how like Beyonce and Jay-Z are in it. That's real couple goals, isn't it? Because you know he's a real don. Do you know what I'm saying? And she's a real girl in that kind of way, a real woman. But that's why they work, innit? Regardless of all her money and all this kind of stuff, it don't matter. Men don't care about your money, innit? So anyway, I divulge. But the song came to 21 on UK hip hop and iTunes charts.
Make up.
Big movement, man. Big movement. And you know what I do actually want to give you props on, man, is your monthly listeners, man. Your monthly listeners on Spotify are pretty fucking mad, bro. Really, like they're pretty fucking solid, bro. They're like what, 15, 16K, bro. I gotta give you ratings for that, because
thank you, man.
I know some artists who are talking the maddest game about how big they are, and they've got like 100 followers, and I'm like, and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself what I said about the followers, but when it comes to Spotify listens and stuff like that, not even just from a financial perspective, but just from a reach perspective, it's good to know that so many people are listening. And after spending some time in Europe myself, I can tell you that listeners from Sweden and Germany and all these kind of places, they fuck with UK music heavy. So you'll be surprised on how much you get from over there. And if I was you, man, I'd try and get a fucking tour popping in fucking them countries, man, really, because I think that would just expand your base like crazy.
Yeah. No, I appreciate
it. Because that would just be... They love it, bro. Especially now, they love all the Skeptors and Stormzy's and all that kind of stuff. You can talk to someone in Sweden about fucking bloody anyone, bro. Russ, like Tion Wayne. These people know, innit? So I think that's just something which would change your game to the next level, in my opinion. Because I thought what Waze hasn't done, he's done headline shows, he's done the mixtapes, he's done the albums, he's got nominated. But there's just something there that needs to be pushed to take it to the next level. And I think it's stuff like that. But I don't know, it's your career, man. This is something that I think about. Because I do look at and listen to a lot of different artists, as you know. And I'm like, this guy could be, or I'll be like, nah, this guy isn't gonna win, or this guy's not gonna last long. And being involved in music as long as we have, you can kind of get a vibe of who's gonna make it and who isn't, basically, as harsh as it sounds. But it's so it's just mad competitive now, man. So it's mad. But what I will say is bittersweet, I'm not. I was gonna go in and take apart every track, but I ain't gonna do that, bro. To be honest, I'm gonna keep it real and just speak to you about why you decided to do a project like that, and why you decided to do a full project with RD Mills. Shout out RD Mills, man.
Yeah, shout out
Because
to
I know
you.
originally Ride for me was, to be honest, Ride for me I prefer over swimming in your ovaries. I prefer Ride for me, and I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but that definitely got a lot of radio play, a lot of exposure. So talk to me about that kind of process there, man.
Boy, obviously, like you said, you listened to the project, and that I literally met RD Mills in the studio. He was actually engineering with my engineer, like a track that I was doing, and he kept when I was recording, he kept going, "Oh," I was like, "This guy is just gassing me up." And then I finished my session. He was like, "Come, we need to tune." I was like, "Yeah, man, cool." But this is funny because this is the time where I kind of was feeling to quit music, innit? Like when I was like, I want to quit. But I was like, yeah. And then I heard a beat, like I heard a rapping beat, and I sent it to him. And I had the first verse written like for months, and then he gave me the hook, and I had a writer's block, like finishing the second verse, innit? And I was like, bro, you write it. He was like, nah, just finish it, cool. So literally, it was a thing where we went to the studio. I've recorded my bit. I've gone off, like I had to go. So I think I had to do something for my mum or something. I've gone off, and I've come back, and then the tune was done. And when the tune was done, bro, I'll be honest, I didn't think. Not that I say I didn't think much of it. The only thing I thought is like, wow, I've actually got like another love song, because the last love song I had before that was, you remember my song "I Don't Want to Lose You" from back in the day?
Oh shit! I was listening to that. I don't wanna leave. I don't wanna.
Yeah,
Man, like Buzz T and that. Jesus.
yeah.
I was taking it back, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
That was the last. Yeah, that was the last tune, like love tune that I thought, bro, that's yeah, and it sounded hard. And then I remember going home and listening to it, and then I messaged him. I was like, bro, and then it actually hit me that, right, this tune actually bangs. But because, like I said, because I was so like not institutionalized, but I was so like, I'm not progressing. When this tune came out, I never even thought. I kind of felt like, okay, I'm going to release it, but I don't know what it's going to do. I thought like, I don't know if it's going to take me further. I don't know what's going to happen. And then obviously I dropped it, and I was like, and then everyone was like, this is sick. The women were like, this is sick. I see, like, I think Nadia J must have commented on it on the Link Up TV Instagram, and I was like, okay. And then off that song alone, literally, I was like, this is probably the biggest like impact any of my songs have had, like getting played on like radio. I won track of the month on like BBC Asian Network and that. So all that stuff, I was like, right. And then literally the project was done, I think. And then I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna do a next project. I don't know what I want to do. And the thing is with me, when I think of projects, I feel like I have to act on it quick, because because I don't want if I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'm like, nah. So I thought of the thing, and I rang him, and I was like, bro, we need to do a project together, innit? And he was just like, yeah, I'm on it. Whatever you got, send me whatever beat you got. If I can work with it, I'll do it. And literally, it just went off that, man. And then any beat I was sending him, it's weird because I was sending him beats, and I'm writing to the beat in, like, wherever I am. He's like done his hook to the beat, and a lot of them tunes he done, like, I rang him and I was like, okay, what did you write about? He's like, I wrote about this. And I was like, bro, I wrote about the same thing. Like, even Rainy Day. Yeah, Rainy Day, he wrote about that, and I wrote about my thing, and it just worked. There's a song called I See You. He wrote about that. And it was, bro, it's mad. It's just mad how, like, some of the songs
came connection together. Really.
Yeah. So that's literally what happened, man.
I think it's a good. I like the animation as well. I don't know if you've done the animation, but that's sick. I think, and also I think even just looking at that, I feel this is just like a new era of you. Yeah, that makes sense, because I can see a pattern that you follow with your music, your designs, your albums and stuff like that. But this kind of sticks out a bit more to me, and like, obviously, like you mentioned, some of the tracks have got that kind of airplay, so people are responding well to it. So I feel like this is this is working. Like this part is working,
Thank you, man.
and this is about what happens next and how it gets promoted is massive. So that's kind of why I wanted to sit down with you as well, because I've spoke to you about like loads of different projects,
Yeah.
loads of different, like your behind the scenes kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just always good to speak on. So that's why I felt like this was the right time to speak about an interview, because it was something different.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like another project, another EP or something like that. It was like with someone else, new designs, a new era. Like you said, you took some time off in between.
Yeah.
And some of the singles have done really well. So I think this was the most, this is the best time to sit down and kind of speak to you about it, to be honest, really.
Yeah.
And another question I wanted to ask you, is what I'm asking a lot of artists is, how has lockdown affected you, especially with your mental health?
Do you know the maddest thing? It's when lockdown happened, yeah. I was still with my ex at the time. Yeah, and obviously, you know, when you're with your woman, you gotta like take her out, you gotta pay for stuff, you gotta do this.
But a
lot of the lockdown, it actually was like good for me, because I wasn't really spending money. Do you know what I mean? I was actually when I was getting paid and stuff, I was just saving it. I was just saving it. The only thing I say lockdown, I actually benefited from the lockdown, if I'm honest, because I saved up enough money and I bought a property in it. I bought a flat.
Oh, sick!
Nice,
man. Congrats, man.
Yeah, during lockdown. So that helped me in that sense. The only thing now that everywhere's open, the only thing I feel a little bit, I kind of feel like, I'm not going to say institutionalized isn't the right word, but because we've been in lockdown for so long, it's like when people are like, oh, let's go out, let's do this, I'm kind of like, nah, I'm cool to just like, you know, chill or just be in my zone. And another thing,
it's mad because some people would go the other way.
Yeah. And what happened is as well is that the only thing that affected me as well was maybe not being able to hit the gym, man. That's that's one thing
man.
Kind of,
I think that it plays a huge part, man. I mean, physical health plays a huge part in your mental health for sure, and I know a lot of people were frustrated with that, because only so many press ups you can do in your living room watching the Joe Wicks thing, you know. So I get you, man, for sure, man. But you guys are lucky, and I'm kind of lucky and unlucky, because when the whole thing started happening, I wasn't even here. So everything was all open and stuff like that. So where I was, and then it kind of shut. But as it shut, I was kind of coming back here anyway. So I only really felt it because I was in another country, and I only really felt it around April time.
Okay.
That was when everything kind of shut for, I think, late March, April time. That's when everything really fully shut down. And I did like a week of being indoors, and I'm like, man, this is long, bro. I can't be doing this for. So I really felt what people were experiencing, because to me, I was like, what are you exaggerating for, man? That's mine. I just do some washing up, watch a bit of Netflix, and then when you experience it yourself, it's mad. And that's why everyone has a different experiences as well. But I feel like a lot of people were under pressure as well, because people were given so much time to themselves. They were essentially said that there was this narrative of, if you don't come out of lockdown with a new skill or big money, like you fucked up, like you wasted your time. It's about your management skills. So I think a lot of people felt pressured to have a result at the end of it. And I don't think it was really about that, because no one could really predict this ever. So it was a complete new and fresh situation to be in. So people didn't really know how to handle it. But it's always good to speak to artists about it, because it either helped them creatively or it negatively affected them creatively. So it's always good to get people's different opinion on that.
Yeah, do you know the thing is as well, even during lockdown, because my thing as well was with Diamond in the Rough, I wanted to do a video for every track in it. And during lockdown, I was able to shoot the videos as well and do the videos for that. So it's mad, because people was like, oh, how you were still like writing music in lockdown. I weren't. These songs that I released like last year were from the project I released in 2019. So it looks like, especially for people that didn't hear the project, to them it looks like I'm still writing and I'm banging out new tunes, but it's just that I shot videos for them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, literally that's another thing, man.
So it worked out alright for you, man, because you're never short of putting out videos. I'll tell you that now, man.
Yeah.
Videos are
Same.
always out, man. Videos are
Yeah.
always out. Link Up TV, Spliff TV, everywhere, man. I always see your videos come up, which is good.
Thank you.
And your freestyles. I feel like you should do more freestyles though as well. Like I'd be interested in see you do like a black box or a
Mm,
fire in a booth or something like that. Or like
yeah.
what's that Mixtape Madness one with Kenny? What's that one?
Mad about
Fuck, what's
bars.
it called?
Mad about
Mad
bars.
About Bars, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I think that would be a really, really good thing to get involved. I mean, you're probably doing this already in it, but I'm just kind of voicing it
Now, do
as
you
I
know the
think of
funny?
it as well.
You know the funny thing is, lately, you're right. You know, I used to do a lot of freestyles back in the day, but as of late, like the last few years, I just writing songs, man. Just literally songs or music. But even like Dead Marshes, you could say Dead Marshes 1 and 2 was like freestyles. I don't know if you heard them. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well, yeah, those were like freestyles. But now I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I'm just everyone needs to see Razor, bro. Everyone needs to see Razor, man. Do you know what I
Thank you,
mean?
man.
So
Appreciate that.
it can't be stopped. I mean, like we said, the project's out now, Bittersweet,
Yeah,
available on all your digital ones, Spotify, Amazon Music, etc., etc.
yeah.
100K on Swimming in your ovaries.
And
Make Up to
makeup.
Break Up is out now.
Yeah.
Ride for Me is out. Make sure they're all available on Link Up. Make sure you guys have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And you know what I'm gonna do as well? I'm gonna do this as well. At the end of each interview that I have with an artist, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to ask me one question. There you go, bro. About anything you like.
I was actually just thinking, do you know what? There's two I wanted to ask, but
Go for it, man.
nah, yeah, there's two. So this is one I want to ask. So you see earlier you said that you feel like I constantly put out music and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask, how often do you think artists should put out music or
I think
video?
artists should consistently put out singles, and I think when it comes to a project, I think it should be treated more as a treat. So maybe let's say twice a year, an EP or an album or whatever, or a combination of both, because people digest singles
Yeah,
better, and I don't think people really have the same patience for albums as they used to,
yeah,
unless they're like the artists you mentioned, Wretch and Gets and whatnot.
yeah,
So we've already got like a massive catalogue. So I think that singles and videos make more of an impact and also builds
yeah.
more of a suspense.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. You're actually right. You're actually that's why I decided to like do a video for every track on Diamond in the Rough in it, and probably
Yeah,
will do the same with Bittersweet, to be honest.
yeah,
But just spread it
yeah,
out. Do you know what I mean? Another one.
yeah.
What did you? Because I don't think did you. What was your honest opinion on Bittersweet? Like, what did you honestly think of it?
I think it's different from the stuff that you've put out already, and
Yeah.
that's why I like it. Because
Okay.
after a while, because you put out a lot of projects, there's topics that you can repeat at times, but this
Yeah.
seems like a fresh outlook. So I've seen
Okay.
that more than I had with, say, one of the Ventins or Diamond in the Rough.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I get you, man. Yeah. Nah. I agree with that. Still, I agree with that, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real, bro. Keeping it real out in the
Yeah.
streets. You know, like I say to people, your honesty, don't come to your host, Rob, bro.
Yeah.
Keep going to the pandering
Yeah.
lot, the pandering pandas, mate. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
man.
not happening here, big man. But I'm gonna let you go, man. But thanks for
That's it.
thanks for talking with me, man.